Ready to go live? Yes, I think I am. Hello everyone, it's Sab here for your creative blog and article writing show, or if you prefer, creative writing show, I don't mind. And I'm looking like this. Here in Paris, here in a pre-lockdown Paris, we're going to be locked down in about one day, count 'em, one, I think. What does it mean? I don't know. I mean, we're still going to be able to write. That's one of the beautiful things about writing. We might not be able to go out, so we won't have anything to inspire us to write, but we'll see how it goes. So welcome, say hello in the chat if you are here, which is one of the stupidest things I've ever said. Oh, someone actually has. They were obviously here. Oh, and maybe are. Hi Sab, says Facebook user. Facebook user, we're in lockdown in Czech Republic again. Facebook user, who the heavens are you? You know, you have to go to, streamyard.com/Facebook, so I know who you are. Yaruska, hello Yaruska. I think that Yaruska is not locked down in Czech Republic. Who's in the Czech Republic? I want to know. Tell me. So this is the, as I mentioned a minute ago, if you were paying attention, this is the Creative Blog and Article Writing Show. What does that mean? It means that anything you can put in an article and a blog, I will talk about it. In other words, poetry, memes, articles, informative articles, creative articles, short stories, anything like that will go on this show. And I need you to send me your stuff. I want you to send me your writing. I don't care if it's 3 words or 3 lines or 3 paragraphs. Send me some writing so that I can read it and, I'll say that I like it, even if I don't. And you can do the same with mine. I'll also show you some of my writing, to kind of get the show going. I'm trying to share a screen here to show you all the stuff I'm going to show you. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. A poem will come your way. Wow, Yana! Oh my God, Yana, how are you doing? Yes, please send me a poem. Could you send it to me now? Would that be possible? I'd love to read it on the show. That would be really cool. And sounds sort of, godlike. A poem will come your way. Be ready, my boy. Well, am I going to make any poems come your way? I don't know. Let me have a look and see if I've got a poem that I can throw at you immediately. So this was from about 2 weeks ago. I haven't written that many poems recently. Any poems in there? No. What about this one? Any poems in there? Oh, Yana, I'm really trying to get back into writing poems more. There's one. It's a little baby one. Let's see what it says. I think it was really just for fun. I mean, when I say for fun, that's me already making excuses. Attention. Masking up and buckling down. If you haven't heard, there's a virus in town. It's a vicious swine. Got to stick your ground if you don't want to finish in a hospital gown. I don't know what that was about. All the time we're just bombarded. For the last year, we've been bombarded by virus stuff. And it's got to creep in. It creeps in the end. Yana, have you... oh my God. Are you saying, haha, okay, let me write one as I blah blah? Okay, who wants to write a poem? And immediately 4-line poem. There you go, there's a challenge. 4-line poem. I'm serious, guys. A 4-line poem now on the show to contribute before the end of the show. I did an 8 one and it didn't even take me more than a click, you see. So in terms of poetry, how amazing is this? Well, for a start, you can't analyse your own poems, can you? But, sometimes I just go with something so simple and so, in your face rhymes, and just to get something out there. And sometimes I'll try and be a lot fancier and more subtle. And sometimes I won't rhyme, although I almost always do have rhyming words or semi-rhyming words, either at the end of lines or inside lines. For me, that's kind of what I feel poetry is. And I know that so many people don't rhyme and they still call it poetry. I don't know what the definition of poetry is. Do you? What's your definition of poetry? Please write it in the chat. Let's get this interactive stuff going. What is your definition of poetry? And I must admit, Oh, speaking of hospital gowns, says Facebook user, is that Yana again? You know, Yana, you can go to, I'm just going to show you this. Sorry, if you go to streamyard.com/Facebook. If you go streamyard.com/Facebook and just say yes, then I can see who you are when you comment. Otherwise, you're just Facebook user. So, you know, what makes poetry? What makes a poem? Is it that it rhymes? Well, obviously not for a lot of people, because a lot of people don't. Some people think that poetry that rhymes is a bit crap, you know, a bit babyish. And yet I sometimes have difficulty with poetry that doesn't have any rhymes, because it's just like they've written some sort of prose, you know, blah, blah, blah. They've chopped it at an unnatural place, maybe to have the same number of syllables per line, but, you know, don't put any bets on it, and they call it poetry. So, you know, whatever. So there's a few people who'd like to see more me in one. Yes, still Yana. There's a few people who'd like to see me in one. Like to see you in a hospital gown. Now, I don't know if you mean that you'd look rather attractive in a hospital gown, or if they are wishing you ill. So you're going to have to elucidate me on that. Facebook user, another one. Hello, Facebook user. I don't know who you are. If you want to go to streamyard.com, it's at the bottom of the screen, /Facebook, and say yes, I will see who you are. See you in a Facebook gown. See you in a hospital gown. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Okay. Okay, so that was my kind of mini poem, masking up and buckling down. Now looking at it, I'm thinking I'd like an and after the masking up. Masking up and buckling down. If you haven't heard, there's a virus in town. It's a vicious swine, got to stick your ground if you don't want to finish in a hospital gown. I don't know what that's about, to be honest. I think it was kind of like me just having to get something out there quickly, and going through Paris on the train, you know, there it is, it's everywhere. Next to the classic, you might get your fingers pinched in the doors if you're not careful, if you're a rabbit. So that's warning rabbits to be careful there. They have these new ones with the masks and keeping your distance, and what's the other one say? Oh yeah, avoid the rush hour. So so there's that. Hello, and so let me think of a poem. Okie doke, yes, a poem, a 4-line poem, please. That's your challenge for tonight. Wouldn't that be fun if we could do a 4-line poem each Thursday evening? All right, so I don't think I had any other poems there, and I don't think I've written a poem this week. I did want to read something about this guy here. I think I might have read it at the end of the last show, but this guy who, kind of weird, he was following a pigeon around the metro. This is going into a corner in the metro. Slightly dodgy looking guy following a pigeon into the corner of a slightly gloomy metro corridor. Okay, yeah, well, so I had thoughts on this. Where do you get your thoughts, by the way? Where do thoughts come? Hang on, someone's saying, I thought I went to StreamYard. Wasn't sure how to still showing up as a Facebook user. Yeah, if you go to streamyard.com/Facebook and you just say yes, click yes, then it'll show me your name. That's the theory. So this inspired me. Everything inspires me. And this is not an exception. So including everything, there's also this. People are strange, if not downright disturbing. Not least those behind camera lenses. But that aside, what's going on here? A portly, you know, if I've read this before, I heard recently that a book worth reading once is probably worth reading several times. That's my excuse for possibly reading this to you for the second time. A portly gent with a jaunty red-wheeled shopping caddy is purposefully pursuing a pigeon at a measured pace in a Paris station tunnel. I don't mean going in roughly the same direction, but actually tracking the poor little pecker. I didn't see the outcome, but did he pounce at some point and pack his unfortunate prey into his heaving trolley to join other feathered friends in a dastardly pigeon pie? maybe to be served in a chic Parisian resto near here. Resto is Paris slang for restaurant. There's nought so queer as folk, my Yorkshire friends would say, and I concur, especially those behind camera lenses, in case you didn't get it the first time. But I still have to write about something, right? Bon appétit! So did it work? Jana, how are you? Jana Dvorska. It seems that you have given the mighty nod of approval to StreamYard, and I can see that you are indeed Jana, which is probably very reassuring for you. So there was that. Okay, let me move on to the next one. Well, let me just show you a couple of other things. So Infinite Creativity Now, although this show is very much attached to the Creative Blog and Article Writing Group, there are other places I publish words and that you can publish words which I can talk about. So, you know, feel free to do it wherever you like, and I'll grab you. If I see you've written something, your words may be taken down and used as evidence against you, claiming not to be a writer. And so the weekly theme for this week and next, I'm going to call it this week and next, is playing with time. Because you know the clocks went back, or is it forward? And that kind of perturbed a few people. So the clocks went back for me this week. And this is a meme actually. If you want to write a lot of stuff quickly and stuff that's quite profound, I recommend you get into memes on your own photographs, not on other people's, you know, stupid silhouetted women leaping into the air with their legs flying and, you know, their hair, whatever. No, please, you know, I've got my photography group, I've got my writing group. I want you to publish your words on your photographs. And this you could definitely do every day. You know, if you're a writer, if you've got the writer's spark in you, you could definitely write something every day. It's a challenge for you. So, for example, this is something that I do. I don't do this every day, but I mean, I do a lot of stuff. So, you know, you can't do everything every day. But, for example, you know, this is weird. I can't go into all of the details, but I was traveling somewhere, possibly the south of Spain for some reason. And lo and behold, in the apartment where I happened to be staying, was this clock on the wall in the south of Spain. Ta-da! It says Hôtel du Canal Saint-Martin. I think it's that, or yeah, something like that. So that it's a hotel. Well, it says the Hotel Canal Saint-Martin, which is a nice canal in Paris. And I, just outside the apartment, for some reason, on the seaside in Malaga, I stood on, said ow, and then picked up a very, very poor condition Eiffel Tower keyring. You know, the sort of thing you find in Malaga. Combining that, swinging it like a pendulum in front of this clock, which was in the apartment, I got this photograph. So it's not Paris, but it kind of damn well almost is, isn't it? And the person who I was staying with actually put some little decorations on here. You can just about see the yin and yang symbol through the words. Anyway, there was that. And then I take my photographs and I wait and see what happens. So this happened. Time is where you're at. Where I am, it's Paris o'clock, for example. I like that. So, you know, it's a handful of words. See what comes out. Give it a go. Because you've got to write. If you want to be a writer, you have to write. Duh! And if you're not writing, it's a shame. Because when you get stuff out, other people can let it in. Let your stuff in. And they appreciate when you create your own stuff. You know, I think I'll get in trouble here. But I think passing on other people's memes, like famous quotes and stuff, it's okay. But if you're a writer, where is the originality in that? As a writer, you deserve your writing. You deserve to be posting your stuff, not other people's. That's all I'm saying. You know, I sometimes post quotes. You post quotes. I get it. It's not a problem. But I'm just saying, you know, from the point of view of a writer who wants to get stuff out there, get stuff out there. If you're taking the time to publish words, make them yours. Make them yours. You know, there's a lot of words out there. You don't have to worry about running out or using the same ones as other people. It's okay. It's okay, guys. You've got my permission. to publish your own words. So what do we got here? Thomas. Now this is Thomas, and Thomas is a star. Thomas is a patron. In fact, he's my patron. I say that in the singular for some reason or other that you can maybe work out. This, if you want to support my work and also get some goodies, you can become a patron. This is a new thing. And you go to patreon.com/sabinparis, and you can choose from really funky levels, and you can, anyway, you know, I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but I will mention it each time. It's fun, you know, you can join a sort of inner circle. So Thomas, thank you, Thomas. I really appreciate your gesture. And Thomas actually decided to adopt an infinity squared puzzle painting today as well, and an infinity squared puzzle pack. So he's going the whole hog. So great, thank you, Thomas. You're a star. Anyone else wants to join me in the clan, the creativity clan? Go to patreon.com/sabinparis, and I will be very, very appreciative, so I can buy some more paints and brushes and things like that. Okay, guys. Yana is. Oh, hang on. So poetry is words, meanings, feelings. So I've got a little question going here. What is poetry for you? Poetry is words, meanings, feelings, sharing some adventures, sharing with your heart lying on the ground, coming to you with the trust of a child. Well, you're a poet by the sounds of it, Thomas. You've got a poetic soul, that's for sure. Words, meanings, feelings. You know, I think I said last week, the funniest thing about poetry is you're trying to express in words something that almost by definition can't be described in words. You can describe something, you can give people some sort of feeling, but it won't be the same as the feeling that you had. And yet it'll be something, you know, it will be something. So do it rather than not do it. Sharing some adventures, sharing with your heart lying on the ground. I like that expression. In English we say your heart on your sleeve, but heart lying on the ground is actually almost more brutally poetic, because if it's lying on the ground it could get trodden on, trampled on, and whereas on the sleeve it can't. So lying on the ground, yeah, you open yourself when you write poetry, and of course when you show it to others. If you don't show it to anyone, you're going to be okay on one level. You don't make yourself vulnerable. But why do we write? Some people don't write to show it to others, but I think most people do. And that's the scary bit, you know, you show it to others and then you, I don't know, it depends. What do you do? Do you show it to others and then run in the opposite direction and put your hands over your ears and go la 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 in case someone says they don't like it? Or do you want them to say that they like it? Are you waiting for that, even if they don't? It's a funny thing, isn't it, poetry? Very, very funny thing. But yeah, as soon as you dare to rhyme a couple of words, all of a sudden, boom, you're on the same level as all the great poets who also rhymed 2 words. And yet we think we're imposters, you know, we think, what right have we got to do it? You look at some of the poets from 100 or 200 years ago, like a famous poet who wrote about the Lake District, where my parents now live, a beautiful lake district in the north, never eat shredded wheat, in the northwest of England. Some of the rhymes are crap, you know, it's classic stuff, but, you know, some of the rhymes are just, you know, it's 2 standard words, like, I don't know, cloud and loud, and they rhyme them, and there you go, he's a classic poet. I'm not thinking of anyone in particular, but I am thinking of a Lake District poet, extremely famous, and you look at their things and you think, well, you know, I know those words, I could have put those 2 together. So there's something strange about we suddenly don't dare, and yet it's so easy, you know. What did I do? I just rhymed something a minute ago. I'm trying to remember. I just rhymed something. I wrote a meme. I just wrote a meme before this show. And there's rhymes in it, because on this series I'm doing rhymes. So thanks for that, Thomas. Jan is saying, ha ha ha. Time stands still. Take another pill. Each day blends into the next, leaving me more and more perplexed. Yay! Time stands still. Take another pill. Each day blends into the next, leaving me more and more perplexed. Thank you, Jana. Fantastic. Our first original poem on the creative blog and article writing show. Despina, hi Despina. Have you got a poem for me? We're writing poems tonight. It only needs to be 4 lines. So, a poem from a beautiful Greek goddess. How about that? Huh? So, a 4-line poem on the theme of time, if you like. You see here, the playing with time is the theme for this week and next. So, if you want to contribute, you can. I am a star. You are a star. You are a star, sir. Poetry is art of words that may or may not rhyme. That may or may not rhyme, yeah. So they can be artful even if they don't rhyme. And Jana says, daffodils, William Wordsworth. Well, let's try and find that, shall we? There's something about wandering lonely as a cloud or something. How do you spell it? Dills, Wordsworth. There you go. I wandered lonely as a cloud. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills. I think last week I read you a bit of Shakespeare. I think it was a sonnet where he'd done the old, why do we need the word V in over? Let's put an apostrophe instead. So it's not over, it's o'er. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills. When all at once I saw a crowd. I told you I was going to say cloud and crowd. A host of golden daffodils beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. And I swear I know every single one of those words. So, I could have written this. I just didn't, because he'd already written it. So what do you think of that? Do you like it? I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and I find o'er more difficult to say than over. That floats on high over vales and hills. I think the point is to get rid of a syllable. It just feels awkward to me. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretch in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft, when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. What's flashing on his inward eye? Clouds? Daffodils? Which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. So it's the daffodils that are flashing upon his inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. So it's a sweet poem, isn't it? It's nice, it's beautiful, it's lovely, it's very nice. One or two, little poetic twists, literally twists. For example, a poet could not but be gay. It doesn't mean, homosexual. In those days it meant joyful. And when he says could not but be gay, it's a rather nice turn of phrase. It's not everyday English, which is what you're supposed to do in poetry, unless you're writing everyday English. But then if it's really everyday English, well, why are you calling it poetry? So you've got to do something, haven't you? You've got to do something that isn't just everyday English, or it's not poetry. It's just prose. And back in those days, they rhymed a lot. Trees, breeze, cloud, crowd, glance, dance. He uses dance, fluttering and dancing. I'm sorry, this is really small. And you're probably commenting, and I should be looking at you. Yes, exactly. Your clouds loud made me think of this poem. Well, that was the poem I had in mind, and I almost said clouds and crowd, but I didn't. And in fact, that's what it was. So any more definitions of poetry, anybody? Now look how many times he uses dance. He's got, hang on, I'm trying to make this bigger for you, so it's slightly easy to read. So you've got dancing, sprightly dance, beside them danced. Got any more dancing? Yeah, so you got 3 dancings in there. So when I'm writing poems, I watch out for repetition of words, and they've got to be worth repeating. So if it's literally the same, dance, 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 that could be kind of boring, kind of like, you know, couldn't he have found another word? But he's got dancing, danced, and dance. So one's a noun, it's not the verb. Dance is a noun, dancing is a verb, danced is the past. So he's insisting on the word dance, and but he's changing it, so it's not like dance, dance, dance. Yeah, so there you go, bit of poetry for us. What else have we got here? So we got Despina says, time to pain. Time is pain to some, but bliss for a baby's mom. Time is you and me. Time is eternal glee. Ha ha! Time is pain to some, but bliss for a baby's mum. Time is you and me. Time is eternal glee. Hee hee. No, ha ha. I like it. That doesn't matter whether I like it or not, you know, but I like it. Nice. Great. I'm going to try and find that thing that I just wrote. You know, I just wrote, I needed a meme. I think it's in this group. It's in the Infinite Creativity Now group. And there it is, yeah. So this is it. I needed a meme, and this series of memes rhyme, so I had to think of something. If you don't know your trotters from your snout, if you don't know your trotters from your snout, no, that isn't how I did it. If you don't know your trotters from your snout, think it out. No one will give a grunt when your cunning stunts a bleeding rotter. Get a plan. You have to be very careful how you say that. That's all I'm saying. Cunning stunt. If you don't know your trotters from your snout, think it out. No one will give a grunt when your cunning... No one will give a grunt when your cunning stunts a bleeding rotter. Get a plan. So this came from the writing that I did in today's newsletter, and I'm going to go back to the original one. Well, what I posted in the Infinite Creativity Now group, and this came from an article on meaning and purpose, and this is a condensed version that I put out in the newsletter. So if you want to get the newsletter, you just have to go here, infinitecreativitynow.com/newsletter, and you'll get my newsletter every time, which is sometimes a condensed version of an article. So I'm going to read you this because I need this before the next one. So this said, "Psst, want a meaningful purpose." I've been thinking about purpose and meaning, and this is what I thunked. Until this had been bugging me, I say. Psst, want a meaningful purpose. This had been bugging me until quite recently, and for ages in fact, I'd been at a loss. What exactly is this legendary search for meaning all about? Every common or garden self-development tome will have you scrabbling for some elusive meaning or obscure purpose like your life depended on it. Well, it kind of does. But my problem wasn't not having either purpose or meaning. It was much simpler. I didn't even know what purpose and meaning were or meant. I didn't have a grasp on the concepts. They were just woolly concepts I read in self-development books. So I needed a simple explanation, like getting someone to write real slow so their words wouldn't overtake me as I read or read. Then it came to me a few days ago, out of the blue, on the train, the easy peasy version I'd been looking for all my life. I don't know where it came from, but it came. Your purpose is your what. In other words, I'm not saying what's your purpose, I'm saying that's it. Your what. It's what you do. This is my definition that I invented. You don't have to agree. I just found this helped me a lot. Your purpose is your what. What you voluntarily spend your time doing. Voluntarily is the key word there. The meaning that goes with it is your why. Why you're doing it. The purpose is what you do voluntarily, what you've chosen to do with your time. And the meaning is why you're doing it. You know, what's the point? Unless you don't have any meaning. You just do it because you can't think of anything else. But I think it's pretty cool if you actually have a reason for doing it. Once you've got that, the rest is filling in a couple of blanks and joining some dots. More on that next time. Okay, so that was that. All right, and there's an article that goes with it. You can go to lazypig.com and read the article. But today I posted a link to the second article in that 2-article series. You can't really call it a series, but I called it Your Mission, Should You Choose to Accept It. This isn't the article, this is the condensed form from the newsletter, and you can discuss it if you like. Go to, Infinite Creativity Now group and discuss it. That's what I post it here for. Why do anything? That's a theme I often come back to, in life. Why do anything? Hopefully, my recent newsletter and article on purpose and meaning for dummies will have pointed you towards a possible answer. You can answer this if you like in the comments. Why do anything? Why do you do what you do? What's your purpose and what's your meaning? It's more a topic for Sunday evening in the Sabsang, but why not? It's writing. It's writing. So, but assuming you found something you really like doing and a really great, bigger than you reason for doing it. In other words, the meaning, bigger than you. That's what the conclusion I come to. For it to be worth anything, it has to be bigger than you, not just about you. Otherwise, it's not worth the molecules it's written on. What then? Declare your mission. Shout loud and proud what the hell you're going to do, and then the hell do it. So you've decided what it is you want to do, that's your purpose. You've decided why you want to do it, that's your meaning. And then to solidify it all, declare your mission. Have a mission in life. You might think that's a bit sort of highfalutin, or a bit grandiose, or you don't want to tie yourself down to one thing. But compare it with this. Not having a mission. Doesn't it sound actually more fun to have a mission than no mission? It doesn't matter if you don't like the mission, or if you stop having that mission, or if you change it. But if you've got a mission, then you can get going. If you haven't, you just sort of, do whatever. What's on Netflix tonight, that sort of thing. So, declare your mission. Shout loud and proud what the hell you're going to do, and then the hell do it. If you don't have a clue what you're doing, don't expect anyone else to either. Your mission, for now, should you choose to accept it, is to read my latest article on this topic over on lazypig.com. And if you click here, lo and behold, you will go to the article. And you can, look at the little cartoons if you don't like the words. And there it is, your mission, should you choose to accept it. And as you can see, it's an article chopped into nice little sections with little cartoons and funny headlines, funny headings. Okay, so there's that. Lazypig.com, it's all there. So that was that. What about you guys? What have you been up to? So Despina wrote a poem, Yana wrote a poem. Despina says, why don't you get the dark theme for Facebook? It's better for the eyes. Yes, mum. I don't know where it is on that isn't even Facebook. Yeah, what? People telling me what to do? God, what? More tools. Settings. I'd have to click there, and I don't know what happens if I click there. Yeah, settings. Could it be settings? Appearance. This is your fault, Despina, that you've just killed the entire atmosphere and everything. Font size. I've seen this before, I just don't know where it is. Now I'm going to get all the clever comments telling me where it is, which is going to be annoying because, you know, guys don't like being told how to do things, especially with computers. You see, I've even lost the original page that I had, so thanks, Despina, and it's not turned over to the dark theme. Okay, so thanks a lot for that. I like those definitions of meaning and purpose. Thank you. Good. Arrow next to the bell display, obviously. What page was that anyway? I've forgotten what page it even was. Well, I'll stop looking at it. That's the answer. Yeah. I knew that. Where is it? I knew that. No, I knew that. Dark mode. On. Okay, everyone. That's how you do it. If you didn't know, very, very simple. Just go to the little arrow next to the bell. Piece of cake. Work out which one to press, and you know, there you go. So I'm glad I was able to help. Weird. It's gone all dark. Oh my god. Ooh, it's getting close to Halloween. Hang on. Yeah, nearly. So this is kind of weird, isn't it? Right, what else have I got to tell you? Anybody else commenting? Right, any more poems coming? Right, let me read you some more stuff. I don't have a book to look at today, but my objective is to have a book to share with you each week. One might jump off my shelf, but I don't know. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of that. Right, so yeah, this was my latest batch. I read some of them, I think, actually. I'm going to go to today. And then I definitely haven't written them. Okay, so this was today's photograph. Every 10 photographs, it's a perturbing self-portrait, creative disintegration. And this is what this inspired, along with a chat with someone about spirals. So let's see what you think of this. Yeah, so have a look at the picture again. It's a rather intriguing picture, I think. Does it remind you of anything? And this is what came to me. Upward spirals are an enjoyable part of my cute curly universe. And here's a double helix for the price of one for you. Of course, what goes up may come down, and virtuous cycles can all too easily transform themselves into vicious circles if we're not alert and vigilant. Learn, create and share, rinse and repeat, is my favourite virtually trademarked virtuous cycle even, although there are plenty more to dream up. The arrondissements of Paris are also arranged like a spiralling snail's shell. Imagine exploring the city, district by district, until you burst out liberated. Paris has long appeared as a puzzle to me, and somewhere in there, I'm convinced, lies the key to my time here. When I find it and turn it, the mystery of my enchantment with the French capital will be revealed. But it may be that I'm the key and the town's turning me. Be alert. Paris needs alerts. So that was a bit of fun that fell out. Yeah, I was getting into this idea of spirals. I like the idea of virtuous cycles and to counter vicious circles. Vicious circles is where you go down, down, down. I mean, sort of metaphorically down to the depths of negativity. This bad thing happens, that makes another bad thing happen, that makes this bad thing happen, and you go. But I love the idea of virtuous cycles. I don't say virtuous circles, I say virtuous cycles to vary the word that comes after the V word. And you know, positivity is like that. If you're positive, you can make other people positive, who then make other people positive, who then come back to you and are positive, and you get even more positive. So it goes like this. And my virtuous cycle, learn, create, share, learn, create, share, learn, create, etc., is exactly that. You learn something. It inspires you to create something, to write something new. And then you share it, because that's what you do, isn't it? If you create something, most people want to share it. You share it, you touch somebody else. They get inspired to create something. They learn from you. They get inspired to create something. They share it with other people and maybe with you. You get inspired by them. You learn from what they've done. You get inspired. You create something new. You share it again. So I love this idea of the virtuous cycle. and my little slogan: learn, create, and share. So that was that. Despina says, shall I write my acrostic Thursday? Of course. I was sleepy when I wrote it. Send it in, send it in. So an acrostic apparently is where you take a word and you write something using the letter of each. I always get confused when I try to explain this. This is an acrostic. Tearing hope, unending agony. Glad to see you're on, good positive form there. Well up the virtuous cycle there. Tearing hope, unending agony, restful, sleep deprived, agitated you. Wow. So that's Thursday. Hang on. What is it? THUAR. Thursday. How do you spell Thursday? That isn't Thursday. How do you spell Thursday? I think you've slipped in an A there for good measure. Tearing hope, unending agony, restful, sleep deprived. It's difficult to know where to chop it. Should I say restful sleep? Sounds quite positive. Sleep deprived doesn't sound so good. That's quite interesting, isn't it? Tearing hope sounds pretty negative. Hope unending sounds pretty positive. So maybe you did that on purpose. So that we can make up our own minds whether it's screamingly positive or direly negative. A nice bunch of words there. Do you actually try to have a meaning over the whole sentence, or it's just kind of random words? Sleepy. If you're sleepy, you mean that's why you threw in the agony. Hey, there's nothing wrong with a bit of an agony from time to time, is there? So thanks for that, Despina. Yeah, that's a cool one. Do take a word of the week, for example, and make a thing from it. Okay, let me read you something else. This is from the train line. I was kind of desperate, and I wanted a shot which doesn't look like all my other Paris shots. So I took a picture of the train that I was waiting, that was there. And I wrote this. Again, I'm coming back to it, and I'm reading it a bit like someone else wrote it. I don't know if you'd get this feeling. I recommend you do it because it's kind of weird. I can't remember what I wrote. I really can't. And it's a really interesting thing. And if you look at it from the outside, you can almost learn something about yourself. And if you do this over many years, I really always recommend people, whatever it is your creative thing, do it every day. Do a little bit every day. Okay? Okay. The number of times I've watched train lights approaching could probably be counted in the tens of thousands. But do we ever pay them any attention? Well, right now, you can in this photograph. And all those mysterious numbers and letters, have you ever asked yourself what on earth they might all mean? Or just let them shunt and shudder by like so much alphabet soup? SNCF, come on down. Come in number 20581, your time is up. Red light means danger. Green light means go. Amber lights, proceed with caution or slow down and stop. Do we really know what's going on? Or have any control over anything? Nothing is less certain. And maybe nothing is less important. So that was a bit of fun. So guys, what do you do to write? Do you write every day or not? I'd love to know. Do you write every day? Is it something you've considered doing? Is it something you do? If you don't do it, why not? And if you do it, do you find it easy or difficult? I'd love to know. Let me read another one and I'll tell you how I find writing every day. This is nice. Because I really like this photograph. I'm always trying to take photographs of Lady Eiffel originally, not the same as I've ever done before. That's my artistic challenge. So I was pleased with this one. I've got the movement of the carousel with the Eiffel Tower sticking out of the top of it. It almost looks, it's just struck me now, it almost looks like the Eiffel Tower is in the middle of the carousel. How cool would that be? The carousel sulks, slyly static, morbidly motionless, as Lady Eiffel and I, aberrantly alive, whiz by. The world's a whir. My life's in a spin, but the prancing horses are frozen, fetlocks spindly thin. The only constant, the stupid carousels, stubbornly still. I will it to move. It's stuck, no surprise. So apart from playing with words, I had this idea of turning the movement on its head and pretending that it isn't the carousel that's moving, it's everything else. And it's kind of along the lines of the fact that we are kind of theoretically moving, you know, through space, although we seem to be standing perfectly still. It's all relative, isn't it, man? You have to believe that we're moving at an incredible rate of knots through space, stuck to this little planet, because it doesn't seem like we are. And yet we're not in relation to the planet. If we're standing still, we're not moving. But the planet in relation to the sun is moving. So then, therefore, we're moving in relation to the sun, but not in relation to the planet, unless we start walking. And there's that funny sort of thought experiment. If you walk, you start walking, and you think to yourself, if you're on a fairly smooth thing, or even a rough thing, you think to yourself, as you're walking, imagine you're standing still and you're actually making the planet turn underneath your feet. So every time you put your foot down, you pull the planet towards you and under your body. And you put the next foot down and you're doing that. So you're actually staying still. It's like you're on there's something, isn't there? There's something that you can do that on, where you're moving in order to stand still, something like that. So you can look at it like that if you like. I don't think it makes much difference, actually. So I had this idea, how to be original. I could have talked about the spinning carousel. Well, yeah, they do, don't they? but you know, don't do what they do. Okay, so I decided. Well, I think you've got the point. I tried to see how far I could take the idea of it not being the carousel that's spinning, but everything else. Even though in the photograph the carousel is a blur, and the Eiffel Tower and I were obviously seemingly to be static. So that was a bit of fun. It's a good technique, actually. Just do the opposite. If you're looking for ideas, do the opposite. Do the opposite of what? Well, the opposite of the first idea that came into your head. Do the opposite. And you'll get some pretty interesting stuff. I'll just read you another couple of these. Any special requests? Anything you'd like to see me read? Hear me read even? Unless you've turned the volume down, then it would just be seeing me read. So give me something you'd like me to read. Somebody, please talk to me. The last person that said anything was Despina saying ha ha sleepy. So she's probably nodded off. Anyone else still there? What shall I read? I can read you any of these or any of these. What would you like me to read? Going. The one with the... Come on. So while I'm waiting for you to decide, yeah, let me show you a book. Oh, hang on. Nice question. Oh, hang on. The birds. Despina says the birds. You're not sleeping, Despina? Okay. Look what I found. I found this on my desk just now. I lost it yesterday and I was looking everywhere for it. And I found it today on my desk where I'd put it. Weird, that. How does that happen? This is a vanilla chai, my last one, which is quite nice. I've never understood what chai is. I think it's a sort of spicy mixture, and with vanilla in it. And as a special this week only, cat hairs. Everything is with cat hairs this week. I don't know where she is, but she's molting at a rate of knots as well. The birds. Thomas says, nice question. What am I doing every day, daily? What am I really repeating all life long? You're supposed to be answering the question, not asking. What am I supposed to do every day long? That's a very good question. And what do I really want to do all life, every day long? Yeah, you know, it sounds like a cliche, but it might be useful to go on the theory that in the form we have here, we've only got it once. So we might as well try and make sure that we're enjoying it. And that's like now, you know, it's not tomorrow, it's now we have to do that. So yeah, I mean, you know, we've got jobs and stuff, but maybe we can change them if we don't like them. Maybe we can find a way of making them more enjoyable. Maybe if we're lucky, we're doing a job that we love. Maybe we philosophize about it and think, you know, when I'm at work, I'm doing a good thing for my job. It's a good thing. It satisfies me. When I go home, I do other things which also satisfy me. It's almost more about finding your own personal philosophy than desperately hoping to get a better job or, you know, do more of that hobby someday. Anyway, that's kind of getting philosophical. More of a Sunday evening topic, that one. So it's all very well giving you these questions, Thomas, but what are the answers? Come on, I want answers and I want them now. What am I doing every day, daily? Yeah, what? By the way, you know, I'd love to, actually, maybe next week I'll ask you what your mission is, because that's what I asked people. What's your mission? What's your purpose? What's your meaning? What's your mission? I think I'm going to go for this. Maybe on Sunday and maybe next week for the writing as well. What's your mission? Because, you know, why not have a mission? My mission is to, and I'll give you an example. My mission, I've decided for now, is it's only a game. You know, they're not going to take me to court if they notice that, you know, between 5:30 and 6 on the 30th of November 2020, I wasn't following my mission. It's okay. It's just a game. But my mission is to I've forgotten. Is to create as much as I possibly can, half the time, and get others to create stuff the other half of the time, because I think that creating stuff on a regular basis is a really great way to lead a worthwhile, enriching and generous life. That's not the first time I've said that. So that's my mission. That's my mission. To create loads of fun stuff half the time. And don't forget, in the creation, it's part of the cycle. Learn, create, share. So I don't want my creations aren't, and compare what you think, you know, when you write, for example. When I speak, don't think it's about me, it's about us. So when I'm saying this, does it apply to you? When I create, it's to share. It's not to keep. But I still want other people to share their creations so that I can get some stuff, you know? You give and you get. So it's very much, even me creating, it's still to be, you know, to create, to move the connecting process forward. That's what it's about. And the other half of the time, get other people to create more. They're kind of linked, they're very linked, but you know, that's my mission. So I'd like you to also have missions. This time next week, missions on the desk, please, at 8 o'clock next Thursday, okay? So Thomas isn't answering his own questions. Maybe he's gone into some sort of really cool word beginning with X. Anyway, mind fuck, basically, as his head explodes as he's suddenly not sure what his mission is. It's not even 2020. I sleep way after midnight. Okay, fair enough. Karen is here. Hello, Karen. You're just in time to say goodbye. Hang on, Karen says. I'm creating and sharing, but these days it's drawing, not writing. We'll see what happens when Inktober is over. Yeah, I mean, creating is creating, isn't it? I like memes. My latest meme. Well, what is it? It's words on a picture. So you don't worry. You know, I mean, you're probably not worrying anyway. But yeah, you know, go for any sort of creativity is cool. I think any sort. I'm really getting into my painting again. I'm getting really excited. Thomas adopted a whole desktop-sized painting. Very excited. Let me show you my latest. Oh, here's one. Okay, so here's one. Now, Thomas, you have to confirm. I don't know if you got the email, Thomas, but there's an error in the order form, and I'm not sure whether you wanted the almost all white one, or the one with a bit of colour. I messed up on the order form, and it didn't tell me which it was. So if you want this one, tell me that. And if you want the one that is pure white with just a tiny bit of colour, let me show you that. Hang on, talk amongst yourselves. This is going to be tricky. Yeah, I can't easily show you this, but because it's not on a stand at the moment. But this one I did all white by special request, all white, and at the end, I couldn't not put colour on. It was just driving me nuts. So on one piece only, I did this tiny little bit of colour. It's around the signature. Does it want to focus? Yeah, there we go. So it's got sab. It's not looking very bright. Oh, there you go. It's got sab and it's got some words. That's part of a word. Truth. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. So Thomas, tell me, do you want the almost all white one? White is white, or do you want the one that's called Rude in Red? Okay, so we're getting to the end of the show. Despina wanted the birds. Hang on. Karen was just saying something. Where's Karen gone? Karen's creating and sharing. Excellent, Karen. Yeah, your stuff is great, Karen. It's getting. I can see changes. Put it that way. You know, I don't say this is good and this isn't good. That's not my style. It's pointless. But I can definitely see an evolution in your work, and I think you should be. It's so good. It's so good to see that. Yeah, Inktober is where you draw something every day. There you go, every day. You see, for a month. And I recommend you should draw something every day. If drawing's your thing, draw something every day forever, or write something every day without an end to it. Yeah, but no, it's fun. It's fun to do it. For a month you do this, for a month you do that. Great, really great stuff. Despina says, how did you say this with the ideas? How did you say this with the ideas? If you're looking for ideas, I forgot. Something with don't. Oh my God. If you're looking for ideas. I don't know, I can't remember. Despina says, I like your drawings, Karen. Great. And Despina said the birds. So I'm going to read you something about the birds. I don't know which one it is. Let me see. There's the bird. There's a bird. Is that the only one with the bird? And is there another one with birds here? I don't think so. Right, so this was... Yeah, let me show you the whole picture actually. The Eiffel Tower is just off to the right. And this is the Seine. It's the Seine next to the Eiffel Tower, next to the carousel. That was there. I took the photographs, you know, one after the other. So look at the difference, yeah? Compare that, turn around and took this picture. Funny, huh? And there was this little guy, not so little actually, you know, bigger than a sparrow, thrush, song thrush, sitting there chirping away, almost as though he or she was saying, you know, cruise on the Seine, only 1 hour, only an hour. I mean, an hour, only some ridiculous price. So that was cool, really liked it. Wasn't scared at all. I could get really close, you know, on the iPhone. And that made me write this. Gaily singing the praises of cool Seine cruises, Lady Eiffel's little song thrush may be. Unfortunately, she risks a brutal muting in the days to come, as a prospect of another near total lockdown in the face of the continued COVID-19 resurgence rears its ugly head. Mind you, it's pretty much à la mode to criticise pretty much every last thing, including, but certainly not limited to, our government's handling of the current health crisis. Their contention being that they would have done much better, clearly. Well, tweets and twerps are 10 a penny these days, so I prefer to go with, you know, the flow, like the flow of the river on a Seine cruise. I'm just reading that thinking there might be a sort of non sequitur, a non sort of like, when I say mind you, I'm not quite sure what that relates to. I'm thinking it's probably okay and I'm not going to break my head, as they say. And as a latecomer, I think Thomas has answered his own questions right at the end. Thomas, come in. Where are you? This has turned out to be wonderful, you know. So many people commenting and stuff all around words. I was going to show you this book. It's called Le Jardin du Poète, and it's in French. It's the poet's garden, and it's a guy who plays with words in French, all sorts of fun things, a bit like Despina's acrosty, whatever you call them. This guy, and he's got a ton of them. It's like every one is a different way of playing with words. It's kind of cute, you know. It's not necessarily amazing poetry, but it's amazing playing with the words, put it that way. This might be the last comment. A mission is just so great, such a great big thing. Yes, I know a private mission can be small, and my special private mission is just private, okay? It's not hidden, it is just... While I'm trying to write some English words in here, you asked me a question, sorry. Okay, I have decided on the whole white 9 infinity squares. White, white, white. Okay, so it's going to be white, white, white. Like this. There's lots of texture. It's not necessarily this one, don't worry. I haven't just broken your... So it's going to be this one. It's got all the features. It's got a coin, which is probably... It's a French coin to symbolize France. It's got a piece of jigsaw puzzle. This piece of jigsaw puzzle has been used. It's had a story before being in my puzzle painting, which will be your puzzle painting, Thomas. It helps you to make up your puzzle painting, but it's also had a life before, and it's been touched by me, it's been touched by my son as we made the puzzle, a wonderful puzzle that this was part of. And once we've made the puzzle, I broke it up, and now it's becoming part of these. Alternatively, it could have been another piece. Will have been a piece that I got from a sort of jumble sale, you know, when kids have played with them, they go into the attic, they're not used anymore, and then one day they clean out the attic and the old puzzles go to the jumble sale. It's very sad in a way. So I go to jumble sales and I take those puzzles, I buy them, and I take those pieces and I put them into my puzzles as well. So one of these will be me and my son, and maybe other people did it together, will have touched this. Another piece in your puzzle painting will have been from a jumble sale, and we don't know who used it. We don't know what life it had, you know. We can imagine the excited faces on the kids' faces on Christmas Day or a birthday when they they open it up and it's a puzzle and they spend hours making the puzzle, and then, you know, the years go by, it gets put away, forgotten, finally put away, sent off to the sales, and I grab it, and now it will be in your possession. And this is very special. And you can see another piece here. Do they join? Do they join? Not like that, they don't. Hang on. There they do. So there they join, you see. And it goes on to another piece as well, another piece down here. This is part of the old circular railway that used to run around Paris. It's called La Petite Ceinture, which means the little belt, because it was like a little belt running around Paris. It's defunct, it doesn't work anymore, but there are still vestiges of it, including the sleepers. And me and my son, we go down there and we grab them. And when the sleepers, the big wood pieces of wood which go under the rails to keep the rails solid, when one of them is crumbling, I grab them and I take off slivers of the wood. It's wood with layers. And I take off slivers, and that is a part of Parisian history, my friends, gathered by me on a ramble around Paris. See, it's really almost quite 3D there. So there you go. It's a bit of true Paris history gathered by me, incorporated into this unique painting. There are 2 other versions of this painting, more or less the same, but still unique. One of them will become puzzle packs. So it'll be sent one piece at a time to anybody who adopts puzzle packs. And the other picture in the same style will go around Paris, square by square. I will stick these to the walls of Paris. And they will last for a while. Maybe someone will take them. there will be a few of them scattered around for maybe for years, and some will disappear very quickly, or even get painted over. This is another metaphor for the ephemeral nature of stuff, including life, of course. So there you go. That's the story of that. So white, white, white for you, Thomas, with a little bit of a rainbow sneaking in there. I really couldn't resist. It doesn't want to focus. It's difficult to focus on white. White on white. Okay, everyone, that's it. I'm going to say bye-bye. Have a wonderful night, wonderful Sab. Thank you, wonderful Despina. And this puzzle story is so nice. Yeah, I mean, it's deep, Thomas. It really is. And I will send you, with your painting, I will send you you can find it on the website, but I'll send you an explanation for a start. It's a puzzle which is much more interesting than it appears. And with the puzzle, with the one that you also went for a puzzle pack, with that, you get with the puzzle pack, you get one puzzle piece, and you get these. You get one of these, and one of these. These are the instructions on how you cut this out, and you have a puzzle, but it's made of cardboard. But it's a puzzle, so you can actually play with people. You don't have to. If you've got your painting, you should play with, show people your painting, the real painting. Get them to touch it by the edges, Don't get those dirty fingers on the white. And this is great. You can get people to play the game with you. And there's instructions on how to explain how to play the game, and because every edge has another piece which attaches to it. It's not like a jigsaw puzzle where the edges are the edges and it stops. Mine go on forever. It's infinite. So there's a whole huge sort of deep and meaningful metaphor for life linked to this, and it's also a really fun, intriguing puzzle. And you also get a signed copy of this poem, which is my most significant poem ever in relation to Paris. It's called My Reality. This is my Paris, my reality. No one sees what I see. It belongs to me. This is my sky. These are my clouds, my reality. I belong to no one. Paris set me free. 1997, folks. I've been here for a while. And you also get this, which is a series of things you can cut up into cool bookmarks. I was just going to show you. No, I won't. Yes, I will. So you can cut these. You can cut these up into 4 bookmarks, and they can end up looking something like this. All right, enough. That's it. Thanks, everyone. And I'll talk to you again soon. Maybe tomorrow. I've got stuff happening tomorrow. Sleepers, known here apparently as railway ties. Okay. Yeah, we call them sleepers because they kind of sleep under the rails. They don't move, they stay there lying down. Thomas, without the rainbow colour around the coin, I maybe wouldn't have chosen it. Well, that's what I thought, I thought somebody wanted it in white, pure white. And I just couldn't do it in pure white. I felt the urge to put a tiny, because rainbow is so significant for me, I felt the urge, a pull to do a little bit of colour. So there it is, it's got a bit of colour, and I think it's nice. I really like it a lot. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Thanks for watching. It's been really fun. That's 1 hour, 10 minutes. This show sometimes isn't that long, and yet this time, wow, fantastic. I really appreciate you watching with me, having fun, talking about words. Yeah, words are just words, but it's one of the best ways we have of expressing ourselves and and stuff like that. So thanks everyone, thanks for watching, and my next thing's coming up tomorrow in the Today's the Day group. I spend some time appreciating your Today's the Days. So if you haven't done one recently, go to Today's the Day and do a Today's the Day. You know, you start Today's the Day, I blah blah. So do that, use the group, otherwise, you know, there's no point for it. And I'll have a Zoom tomorrow, a Zoom where we can just get together, showing your face and just saying one thing that you were pleased about from this week. Okay, it's another way of interacting. That's it. Bye everybody, and talk to you again soon. Bye for now.